Johnny, we're looking at something a wee bit different today. It's not our first time looking at these rather strange products over your shoulder. What is going on here? You are involved, obviously, you're working for Moore Concrete, but you've been involved in the development of a strange new line of business over the last few years here in the agricultural side. Just tell us what we're looking at.
Well, I don't think you will have seen anything like this before. Concrete shaped like a pencil and concrete shaped like a timber post. It's a concept that we came up with there, must be about 5 years ago. We got approached by someone that was fed up with timber. Concrete lasts. They says, can you make us something that we can use as a fencing post, but in concrete that will outlast the timber? So we got thinking about how we were going to develop it, and we started off with the straining post. That was the first thing of the product range to come out. We had to figure out a way of how we can keep the simple method of how you can drive a timber post into the ground, how you can staple your wire directly to timber, and without having to spend any extras and fancy clips, fancy fixtures, fittings, concrete, how you concrete them into the ground, things like that. So we came up with this aux-drain strainer post, which you can drive into the ground using a conventional post driver.
Yeah.
And you can use a hammer and staple to hammer and staple your wire directly to the post.
So what you're telling me is you can take these concrete fencing posts out to a field, batter at them with a post driver, put your strainers in as per usual. You don't need any extra strainers. It's pretty much the traditional way is timber, always has been, and you're not trying to totally replace that, because you probably couldn't make enough to totally replace that. But post driver, strainer, put your fence up just using concrete posts. And I mean, I think that is a little bit of a bugbear for farmers who are, putting a lot of effort into fencing. And let's be honest, wire always outlasts the timber post.
It used to be that the posts were good and the wire was bad. You're lucky if a timber strainer will last you 5 or 10 years now, and the wire will outlast it. So what you're doing effectively is putting up a fence that in 5-10 years time you'll have to rip down again. The wire's still 100% on, the timber's gone, you're back to square one again. Whereas you put the likes of this in, this is going to outlast the wire.
So you're effectively pouring these.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yous have the molds, yous have the whatever. This is your baby. This is Moore Concrete's baby.
Well, we have all the rights, design, patents for these posts. They are something that only we make, only we can make, and we do very well with them. We pour them all in-house. Everything that you'll get from Moore Concrete comes directly from Moore Concrete site here in Ballymena. We'll send them wherever you want them to go. We have thousands of these strainers and thousands of these posts going out every year to customers that as soon as they use them once, will come back for more and more. And the way we're manufacturing them in there is we can manufacture them in bulk, so we can keep turning them out as quick as you need them. Well, try to be as quick as you need them to make sure that you're getting a fence that you can put up once, that'll do your generation, that's it.
At a price point here, concrete has to be more expensive than timber. Bottom line, it has to be. But I'm sure you've done your mathematics. I mean, at the end of the day, people wouldn't be buying these if they didn't see the value in them. So what is that value? Other than it just outlasts one round of wire.
The value is that post will last you, the strainer will last you at least 50 years. The smaller posts are at least 30. But we're working on developing those every day to try and make them last longer. Now, if you put these in once, we're talking here that an ordinary timber post will do you 5-10 years. You're going to have to replace that timber post maybe, 5-6 times by the time you'd have to even look at replacing that. You buy that timber post once now at the price it currently is. Can you turn around and tell me in 10 years time that post's still going to be the same price, or is it going to be double? Whereas that will be that price that you've paid for it there and then. It's never going to go up. You don't then have to pay a man to come back in or use your own time to go rip that fence out, put a new fence up, buy more wire, put that wire up, when that's already there. Like, your next door neighbour could put this up on a good stretch around, and you could do with timber at the same time. And in 10 years time you could look at your fence, see it's rotten, look at his and still brand new.
Well, we had a laugh with you because you supply a lot of the stuff, and where we're based there at HQ, into Farmer Gareth, as he's known.
He's a good fella.
Feeding bunkers and all of these different bits and bobs supplied by Moore Concrete. And that is partly what Moore Concrete is best probably known for. Slats, feeding bunkers, water troughs, all of those other bits and pieces.
Yeah.
But you get talking to him about a wee bit of a fence into what we call the wee garden as you come down in the lane.
Yeah.
And we all laughed and joked and said to you, that's all hardcore fill, that I'll never drive posts in there. And you said, I'm telling you, we will. And we were like, it won't happen, to the point where we got a lot of posts sent out, and you says, look, if you break any or anything like that there, we'll stand on because we're confident. And there's a fence there now of these concrete posts, and it was being driven into fill, and I genuinely couldn't believe it. A couple of big gate posts, which are nice, lovely big looking product, but those strainers, as we call them, I'm sure you call it, is that what you call it? Is that the official name?
The official name for them is an ox strain, but they're a straining post.
Aye.
But now, it's not just a straining post. You can use it as a gate post as well. Like, the strength in them, like, you go to an end of a run, you'll have a strainer, you'll have a gate post. That's conventional fencing. With that, you can use that as 2-in-1. Strainer, attach your wire to it, buy an 8-inch round gate clamp, hang your gate off it. Why would you go out and spend money on a strainer and a gate post when that does 2-in-1, which makes that a wee bit cheaper?
Gate posts look good.
Gate posts look good, yes, but not every field that you're going to go into, you're going to want to have a fancy gate post.
No.
Okay, the gate.
Well, we've 2 fancy gate posts in, all right.
You have two. You have 2 nice fancy gate posts in a prominent area, which are ours, and they look the part. Like, I will never put a boy off that.
We watched the young lad, putting that bit of fence in, and we swore.
Well, to be fair, that was Ryan's first time using them as well.
And
He'd never.
We were like, hand in heart. I know we fell on bits of it because we were kind of like, this isn't going to work, but it did work. And the bottom line is, you're looking to the future. The past has kind of maybe changed, caught up a little bit with things, as you were saying there. The future may be a wee bit different, and we were just like, I don't think people will believe it does work until they actually see it, and we do have some footage of them going in, and it does work, and obviously you're selling more and more and more and more of them. But there maybe are ways and means, strainers to start off with, then through time enter just a few posts. There's lots of different ways and means of going about it, for someone who's not sure.
Well, I'm not saying someday that I've got 2,500 metres of fencing to do this year, come in and just buy all that. Maybe come in, buy the strainers, try them out, see how you get on. And then if the timber posts start to rot away, well then gradually replace them with these. Like, it's not going to be a big expenditure at the one go, but all of our, the merchants we have anywhere in Northern Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales, we'll all stock them. We'll happily sell them to you as you need them.
And can that information be
readily
available through your website?
Go onto the website. We have a map on there showing all the merchants that have any stock of our strainers, posts and water trucks. They're a merchant product. They'll be in all the branches. There is some branches as well that will stock our tractor weights. There will be some branches that stock our rat bait boxes. There is an abundance in products that we're always looking to be innovative on that can help, down the line.
And tractor weight, hey?
Oh, aye.
That's the job.
That's the job. Get some for your tractors you have around the yard.
I don't have many.
I only 1 or 2.
I'd be the sort of boy who would break the concrete weight and day one.
Well, that's why I tell you about that post back then. You want to try it, you try it.
No, Johnny, thank you very much. I think, we talked there about, you're going up to Balmoral shows, or the big local show here, and you do go to the likes of the Highland show and some shows throughout UK and Ireland, but we'll maybe take a grab around it and, let people see a few more of the products that you sell, because as I say, you're right beside us here at HQ. You have been in business a very long time. I worked for Wilbert's brother in sales for years, and it's nice to be able to come out and have a wee look at something a wee bit different and innovative, and you see them all about the yard, feed, bunkers, everything, and who would have thought concrete replacing timber?
Well, that's the thing, like it's the mindset. But
it is a mindset.
They work the same as timber. Okay, they're a wee bit heavier, but they're going to last timber. They work the same as timber.
But obviously there's a wee bit of magic in it now, because you know, you
we can't
don't
give away the
typically just
secrets.
start battering concrete. Like, you have to have some bit of magic in there for that to work.
The only thing we'll recommend you do is use the top hat whenever you're driving them in. As long as you put the top hat onto the top end of the post, you'll have no problems. That's the only thing we'll recommend. But we're not giving away the trade secrets. It's a secret that we'll keep, but
For goodness sake, you're not Coca-Cola, like, come on here.
you keep battering away at them things. Keep battering away at them. You'll have no problems.
Good man, Johnny. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers, bud.